well, welcome to the B-Bun. Here we are in episode 3. Yes, it's going, it's rocking, we keep this bad boy rolling. Joining me this week, as always, is Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good.
Cool. And this week we have our first guest. Entering into the podcast arena is Crime Man. How you doing?
Alright, man, how you doing? Good.
Yeah, and first podcast?
First podcast ever. This is my first entry into the world of podcasts.
Breaking that cherry. Cool, right, so, gaming this week, Link, any at all?
A little bit GTA. Obviously it goes without saying really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But mainly just pissing about on my computer. Just catching up with some bits and bobs, doing some more vectoring and stuff like that. Yeah. And I also created a game this week.
You flash bastard!
Yeah, well I wouldn't necessarily flash, because, you know, they're killing that off, so I don't want to use that.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of those, just pissing about really. It's a good little program. I can not really have to worry about coding at all, which is a small relief.
Can you say the program?
Yeah, it's Construct 2. Oh. You can go get a free version of it, and you can publish web games and bits and bobs like that, but you obviously can't publish it to any system. But I think a license, like a personal license, is like 80 quid.
Cool.
Which is bugger all, really.
So what style game did you do?
Oh, it's just a little top-down shooter.
GTA kind of feel?
It would have looked like the original GTA a bit, yeah.
I love
but obviously without the scrolling and the sort of pseudo 3D elements in it.
Cool. Crime Man, gaming this week, any off?
Yeah, heavy on the Destiny, lots and lots of Destiny. I've been pretty late to the Taken King, so I'm absolutely hammering it at the moment, trying to get through that content.
What light level are you at?
Ooh, I'm at 287 at the moment. I need to get myself a raid together, get myself some 310 gear, but I'm not quite there yet.
No.
I've been wanting to do that for about 6 months.
Yeah?
Yeah. I still haven't got anything. I've got a couple of 300 bits, but I still haven't bust over 300 yet.
Yeah, it's all about that raid gear.
It's all about that raid gear.
Well, not necessarily, because if you do the thingy challenges, the like Crucible bounties for Lord Shaxx, you can get raid quality gear from that, or like level wise.
Really?
Good tips. Let's get that sorted.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right, we're going to bust onto our Bullet Bills Big 3. Here we go. Okay, and here we are in our Bullet Bills Big 3, or the Triple B if you will. And moving on to our first news item for this week, what we got, Link?
Some backwards compatibility news, or workarounds.
I love this stuff.
There's the news that Red Dead Redemption is finally playable on Xbox One.
Yes, so this was like top of the list for so many people for backwards compatibility.
It's top 3 for the whole of the voting system. But it's like you say, it's only for the digital copy, unfortunately, and it is a bit of a workaround. So bear with me on this. First thing you need to do is to search for a profile on Xbox called Rocco Howard. That's all one word with a capital R and a capital H. So it's Rocco Howard, all one word.
That's in Rocco's Modern Life, Rocco.
Yeah, capital R, capital H, and then in his following list, obviously viewer's profile. Go to his following list and look at the games he's following. Then you need to look for Red Dead Redemption, click on it, and then you'll see the options come up. Over on the far right side it will come up and say something, see install. Click that, and then you should be given the option to install it if you've bought it previously on digital.
Yeah, we did the acid test on this just before the recording, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, we went fine on my account, so yeah, Red Dead Redemption. I'm going to be straight on that this afternoon. Amazing.
I hate to say it, but yeah, back in the saddle all the way.
Why? Punisher, why?
Bringing back the puns.
Moving on to our second bullet hole for this week is Sega sales and the peculiar fiscal period that is April to December, which apparently is how they measure themselves these days. So Sega, for me, a company that I pretty much thought must be dying a death by now, because they've only really got involved with Bayonetta and
Platinum Studios. They've been sort of working with them as a publisher, and other than that, there's not a huge amount of things going on.
Everything else has been chaff and just Sonic.
Especially for these sort of the Western shores.
Yeah.
I think Japan, they're still going pretty strong. I think they're very much like Konami in the sense that they've diversified, and they're not just a gaming company anymore, a video games company.
Yeah, it's a shame. That Sega logo loading up as soon as you see it, and you hear the familiar
Sega,
and you just you miss it so much. But that's the way it is. It's the nature of the beast. So what's going on? What's the news about this sales?
So basically, they've seen a bit of a descent in their sales, as in their actual numbers for sales. 245 billion yen, which is a 8% decrease on the previous year. But that's still no chump change. That works out as 1.4 billion pounds. I didn't know they were doing that sort of money.
Just where and how, and we've got to know where this is coming from.
To mention Sega and 1.4 billion, you'd think that's how much they're in debt.
Yeah,
exactly. But that's how much they've tried rinsing out Sonic over the years.
How many attempts that they've tried to reboot Sonic?
Please stop killing Sonic. We just want him back in his guise and running that side scroll.
Well, they did episode 4, didn't they?
Yeah, episode 4 was good, but episodic gaming, we've probably got a little bit to talk about that later on, but
yeah, I don't know. I just always feel with any of the Sonic stuff, it's just like it worked when it was a 2D platformer. But yeah, I mean their operating profits gone up, so they're obviously doing something right. I'm probably firing a lot of staff, but yeah, I can't get my head around their numbers, how they're doing it. As I said, I think what I really need from you guys is to chip in for a ticket. I'll go over to Japan and knock on their door and find out.
Yeah, what are you going to do for the rest of the time when they tell you to piss off?
Tokyo? Tentacle porn? Okay, let's move on to our third bullet hole. What we got, Link?
Well, we've got a couple of closed beta announcements.
Right.
Obviously, Homefront's out this week, which I've got my key for.
Some more successful than others.
Yeah, I can't believe when you were explaining to me what went on, how, because it was just literally the simplest thing I've ever signed up for.
I was caught in a loop of telling me to sign in or register. Yeah, it's a bit and then when I clicked on the get your code here section, and it was like, you need to log in or register. So I was like, okay, even though my name's in the top right hand corner, I'll log in. Did that, and just round and round and round in circles for ages, until the point where I said fuck you and moved on.
So very well and truly into Homefront, the revolution of logging in and signing up.
Oh god, why are you doing this to me? So what's going on, Link?
Yeah, so we've got our beta that's going to be released this week as for the Homefront, but there's also apparently a leak from the Italian Xbox Facebook profile.
Been following it, have you?
Yeah, well, somebody has, thankfully, so I don't have to. And yeah, there's going to be an open beta for The Division, apparently. So that'll be running from the 16th of February to the 21st, which is good. So it allows people to get rid of Valentine's Day, and it's like, right, baby, you're taken care of. Back on the Xbox.
Back to killing, yeah.
Yeah, so that's hopefully good, because then it gives everybody a chance, because I know there's an awful lot of people trying to get into the closed beta. I was one of them. But just everyone was doing
he's not better.
No, everyone was doing the pre-order trick on the PlayStation, and it got to a point where like, we've got no more spaces.
So I mean, for me, the Homefront was one of those games that when they first announced it back in the day, when the original Homefront had some great premises around PvP, and I was like, whoa, this could be interesting if they do this right. Bought the game, played it, and it just felt shit.
Just felt like a really weak clone of Call of Duty.
Cheapy.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing that if you was to ask you now for Call of Duty, this was what you'd end up buying.
Oh, why, man, why?
Yeah, but it's just as good.
And ever since then, it's had a pretty checkered timeline, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously gone from THQ, which obviously went bankrupt, then it went to Crytek, which kind of went bankrupt. And we finally, after, 5 years, finally found our way to something close to a release date. Well, it is going to be released on the 17th of May this year. Sorry, that's in America, it would be the 20th of May in Europe.
Of course.
But, so obviously, there has been a couple of betas, sort of closed stress test and network testing stuff, and the impression that I've read from it is that it's the performance issues. It plays pretty well, but everything that are the problems, all because of network issues, which this is what betas are for. Obviously, hopefully they've tightened it up for this one, so it's not going to be too bad. But the main thing that I did take, though, was that Fasahat Salim, a designer at Dambusters, has come out and been talking to GameSpot this week, and he's stated that there will be no season pass for it, which obviously everyone thinks, no DLC, but there will be DLC, and it will be free.
How altruistic.
Yeah, but the model they're going for obviously is the microtransactions, and it's like time saver packs and XP boosters.
See, that's not bad. I'm down with that.
I think that,
if you're willing to expedite your progress and throw a bit of cash at it. It's not a bad thing, as long as it's not locking parts of the game away.
No, nothing. According to him, nothing will be behind a paywall. All we're offering is, and I quote, this is from Fatter Hat, all we're offering is, for those players that don't necessarily have the time to invest in the game, to unlock those cool things, it's basically just a time saver for them. A shortcut to unlocking these things. They pay a little bit of money, but they're not getting anything that's exclusive to them.
That's cool.
That works.
I'm cool with that. I mean, Battlefield do the same thing, don't they?
We've done it on GTA with the money. You still can't just go out and spend 60 quid on money and get everything. You've still got to go and work through the game to unlock the rank to actually be able to get it.
Yeah. Cool.
That works well.
Well, it sounds like they're coming at it from the right angle, but whether they actually deliver, we will see. I guess that's what beta's all about.
Yeah.
Cool. Right then, let's wrap this bad boy up. We're going to move over to our What's the Beef Chief section. Bam, and straight into the What's the Beef Chief. As always, putting up big chunks of beef and beating that meat and venting it. Yeah! Sorry about that. Right, so what's on the list for this week, Link?
Our favourite game of all time. Well, developers really. It's just what the fuck is going on at Bungie at the moment.
Who knows? They're all over the shop.
Well, obviously we've had a bit of a transition at the top end. Obviously there was the story last week that Destiny 2 wasn't going to be dropping, and then this week, surprise surprise, the guy who's running the show is not running the show anymore.
Yeah.
Was it Harold Ryan? He what was it, CEO or president of Bungie?
President of Bungie,
that,
yeah.
He's out.
It's like somebody's come on with a hook and he's like, exit stage left.
Yes, it's the shepherd's crook all the way.
Yeah.
If not, it's the old Monty Burns. Yeah, just a little to the left, a little bit more. That's it.
Goodbye.
There goes the button.
Yeah, goodbye. So stepping in is who?
Pete Parsons. He's the new COO.
Well, he was the CEO.
He's been bumped up.
He was
too many acronyms.
Too many CLAs.
So he comes in as the new CEO and on Ryan's behalf gave a statement.
Which,
again,
I didn't know much about this until it was obviously explained to me by one of you guys earlier. But yeah, apparently that's basically just code for saying, he got booted.
Yeah, international business speak for, I'm going to explain to you now why I'm better than the previous guy.
Yeah.
Any point where somebody's stepping in front of you to thank everybody for your great work isn't a good sign.
It's basically, here's the knife that I'm going to put that thanks in with.
Yeah.
And here's that second knife that I'm going to make sure it stays there.
Have we heard anything from Harold Ryan at all?
No.
No, nothing.
NDA's joking? So you want to keep your shares? Shut the fuck up.
So the question is, why? Why the big shake-up at the top? We've all got our little beef with Destiny. Lag being one of them. Lack of communication from Destiny. No roadmap of what's coming. I'm just at a loss at it. I came to this party a little bit late, so I've been quite fortunate to be able to take the Taken King for the last sort of month or so. Really hit it hard, get my sort of money's worth out of it. But now I'm feeling the content's just drying up.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm one of these mugs who bought it right at the beginning and got the big shiny box which is sat over there staring at me, and to me it's almost mocking me.
I was going to say, if you listen ever so closely, you can almost hear just this little chortle.
Yeah, or cha-ching.
It's Peter Dinklage as well, laughing at you.
Honestly.
Thanks, Dinklebot.
Why did I buy at the beginning, spend all that money on it, just to have it rubbed in my face at what the price was going to be for everybody else to get all the content up to a year later for less than I paid for the original game right at the beginning, and then I've gone through all the payments and transactions in between to get the stuff. I mean, how much have I spent on this game?
Too much.
Fucking ridiculous.
Probably less than GTA though.
Well, yeah, but I still enjoy GTA.
GTA, you get your money's worth, I find.
Yeah, but I mean, so a year ago, we've touched on this before, Link, haven't we? A year ago, we knew what was coming.
Yeah. At this point, obviously, we'd seen the first pack released. Mm-hmm. We knew what was coming in the second lot, and then obviously we knew there'd be the big expansion at the end of the year in September.
Yeah.
No problems.
I think, to be honest, the content they've released to date, I mean, everybody always says content doesn't come out quick enough. Well, that's the nature of sort of
development.
Yeah, exactly.
And using crap engine tools.
But I've been quite happy with what they brought out today. But we knew something was coming. I mean, the raid was good, happy with that. And then we found ourselves going, right, so, okay, that's cool. Now what are we doing? And you look at Bungie, and they don't have a fucking Scooby. They do not, they're not demonstrating anything. Which
no, it's almost like a radio silence at this point. I mean, what you're hearing at the moment is Bungie reaching out to players who've stopped playing the game and saying, why have you stopped playing our game? And, you know, the answer should be relatively obvious, isn't it? We've stopped playing it because there's nothing left to play.
No, that's it.
But I mean, they've been surveying people, haven't they?
That's right. Surveys have been going out to various players. What are they asking these people?
Yeah.
You know, they're not asking the current players. They're asking people who've left and trying to re-engage with these people. And I think the answers for Bungie should be relatively obvious.
Yeah. Do something.
Do something. Yeah. Bring us
do something original that wasn't already written and scripted and planned.
Yeah, I mean, or, you know, if you really want to make me happy, optimise your game so I don't spend most of my time in a fucking spaceship floating around a planet.
Whilst you do your skills-based matchmaking rather than a connection-based matchmaking.
Which they're going back to.
Yeah, interestingly that, isn't it?
And there's going to be some new referee kind of system in place, so if you obviously get people that boost and use lag to their benefit, they're going to be basically punished.
I've heard of this little device that you can create for yourself called a lag switch.
Or lag pedal.
Lag pedal, which is just nuts. I mean, using the actual flaw in the networking to give yourself an advantage is just crazy.
Yeah, this is what this is designed to counteract, basically. Yeah. So they're catching, basically, people that have just got crap connections, they're not really going to punish because, you know, you've already got a crap connection, what more do you need?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's people that because you'll see it, it'll go out and then it'll be fine again, and like you say, it'll drop out and be fine again, and yeah, they're going to be going after those people. So they are trying, it seems. Some people at Bungie are, at least.
Can I just pose a quick question here, right? So I've spanked, and I'm talking about money here. I've spanked a lot of money in this game. I bought all the season pass and something like that. Why shouldn't I just be playing Warframe?
That's a very good question. When you look at them, you stack them side by side. Warframe is a RPG first-person shooter. You don't pay for it; it's free. You obviously do pay in game for certain things, but what Warframe does, and obviously it's not quite as AAA polish as Destiny is, but you still get that shooting mechanic. You still get that great
the shooter looter.
Yeah, the shooter looter. It's all procedural generation, so the maps change quite frequently. The in-game grimoire version in Warframe, you can view it in game. You don't have to go separately to a website. It's just like,
go on the website.
Yeah. So you don't need to. You should be able to view these things if they're important to the lore and they're important to the story. Put it in the game.
I did like the idea of the grimoire sort of releasing little tidbits of story, but I don't know why they haven't. Like with the Taken King story stuff, some of it's animated.
Yeah.
And what would have probably last year just been a grimoire card, they thought, no, we've got to do a bit more with this, and they animated it. Why didn't they do that with some of them?
Yeah.
It's like the story of the last word. It's the gun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. It's this proper epic battle between two guardians, one that's gone to the dark and one that's stayed with the light. And it's a brilliant story. It just needs animating.
Yeah, I mean, I was online with Biggie Mac the other day. I was chatting with him. He said, "Have you read the grimoire cards?" He was like, "Oryx used to be like a bird, and on the bottom of the ocean, some crystal and some sisters and all this." And I was like, "I don't know any of this stuff." He's like, "You got to read the grimoire cards." And I thought, "No, fuck them. They want to animate it and actually do some fucking storyline."
Yeah, deliver the story to me, or make it so I can do it in game. I probably would do.
Yeah.
And go to a little section in the tower and.
I mean, you see, it doesn't have to be full on animation. It can be. Fable did this really well. You know, they had the sort of cartoon transition
Max
across
Payne, the original
images, and they just it's Max Payne, great shout with the comic book feel.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be a full on animation.
Man Burns effects.
Hell, I could even do one on my phone for them.
Yeah, it's crazy, and you think the amount of money they've got, my money that they've got.
I was going to say yours alone should pay for at least one or two of them.
Oh, bastards! I want to know now what's happening with the whole sort of PVE, actual gameplay. I want some gameplay now. It's great that they keep doing things like Iron Banner and this and another. I want to know what's happening with the storyline in this game. I know that there's what's the name? Traveller. Thank you. You've got the Traveller. We've got us on a planet. They've alluded to the darkness, like being around us. What the fuck is going on with this game? What is going on?
Sorry, it's a bit off topic, but I saw a video. It blew my mind. Basically, you're walking around a corner, or this guy walks around a corner, and you get a little drag, and he shits himself, and he screams, "It's the darkness," as you come round the corner. So obviously, if you read up on Reddit and stuff, there's a lot of people have put an awful lot of time into this and conspiring and finding out what's what and going through all the grimoires.
So long story short, we're pretty much waiting for Destiny 2.
Yeah.
It's going to hopefully give us a narrative that we've not had from year 1 and year 2, and bring us some PvE content,
Yeah.
For the people out there who don't want to be competitive multiplayer, they want to be, fighting the enemies, they want to find the story.
The reason why I bought the game.
Yeah, and it's just not being delivered at the moment. So Bungie, let's have a roadmap, let's find out where we're going with these things, let's have a release date, potentially for Destiny 2.
And let's sack off fucking last gen as well. They need to just, every developer now, it's just, sorry, but unless you've got a PS4 or a PC or Xbox One, tough shit.
Yeah, that's a fair point, I think. I think Destiny 2 is probably going to come out on next gen.
Because unfortunately they need to rebuild the fucking engine and their tools that they use to build it, because when you read how long it takes them to render through a change, like, it's right, I'm going to move that rock there like 3 inches to the right, I'll click render and I'll go home for the evening.
And the next 2 weeks.
No, come back in the next day, it's just about done. You can see, no, it affects that, no, we've got to move it back, click.
So, summarising, Link, if you had one message to go to Destiny, what would it be?
Stop being tight asses with some information. Just be a bit more open with your public, because these are the people that are going to keep it going.
Cool, crime man.
Two-way street communication. Listen to your
Fan base.
your players, your fan base. Listen to your detractors. What are they saying? Take on board the feedback and come back with open communication. Very, very quick. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just tell us what's going on.
Like, even if it's a case of, we hear exactly what you're saying, we can't tell you anything about it right now, but we've got information coming. Like, we've known as years and years as gamers, we're quite happy with the carrot. It's just like, as long as there's a promise of some carrot, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll still be here waiting.
Just give us something. I mean, for me, it's really, really simple. Destiny, get your shit together. There are games out there all around you which are doing this right. Fucking sort it out, boys. Simple as that. You're the ones making the game. Make a fucking game. And I'm done. I'm
cathartic.
Yeah, I've got it out of my system.
Yeah.
Right. Let's wrap this bad boy up. I'm going to move swiftly on to our Uncharted Territories section. Okay, Uncharted Territory, the part of the podcast where we get to explore our wildest hopes and dreams, our thoughts, our visions, I don't know, anything which we just feel needs discussing. So Link, what are we touching on today?
Well, we're touching on you, Mark. Well, obviously you've been lucky enough, to get in on the Division beta last week. Over the weekends.
Was it luck or was it money?
Well, yeah, I know it's money, but we're going to say luck.
Okay.
So I don't feel bitter.
Yep.
So we're just going to have a little touch up on that, about it, what your thoughts were.
What's
some questions?
I'm actually getting quite excited about this now. I've been looking at a lot of footage and seeing what's going on, and I'd like to know all about it. Regale us.
So for me personally, I played it. I loved it. I think there's lots and lots going on. It's got loads and loads of potential. There are some clever little ideas in there. Storyline's a bit wank.
But yes, it's a massively multiplayer online RPG.
Yeah,
essentially.
I mean, they cut away the first bit of the storyline. You kind of just show up on the map, like flying on a helicopter. And I'm not going to sort of do any spoilers for anyone, but it's kind of like you're two people rolling in. One of you's really hurt. Funny enough, you're not. You take the gun and you go act as the legs and the ammo for them. But it's lots of we need to get ourselves set up and go do fetch quest this and kill person that and that sort of stuff. So there's enough there to keep you interested, I think. I don't know how long it will keep you interested for. The really interesting bit is the Dark Zone.
Well, I think with the Division, though, it always was, really, wasn't it? That was always going to be the crux of the game.
It's got a really interesting dynamic on it. It's something that I haven't seen in any shooter today. I was about to say first person, but it's not. Third person shooter. But yeah, I just haven't seen anything like it. So the premise is you go into this dark zone, all your decent loot is there. This is where, and funny enough, loot colours are
exactly the same.
Exactly the same as Destiny. It's
so
green.
It's green common.
Yeah.
Blue's rare.
Yeah.
Purple's ultra rare.
Yeah.
And then orange is, seriously, you will have to kill, massacre an entire nation for one of these.
It's funny because it's the same set of colours as you had in Borderlands. Borderlands introduced the same system. They had the white, the orange, and all the way up to.
But it's been like you're saying, Diablo. Throughout the years, it's just
everyone's standard.
Yeah, yeah. I think it is just everyone knows. It's the same way now that every first-person shooter has look damn sight.
So basically, what you're saying is I've got to like paint my car yellow and stuff like that. Yeah, ooh, exotic. Yeah. So
no. To be fair, it will be green.
Yeah, it will. But you know, to be fair to the Division, what they've done in that dark zone is really, really interesting. The whole idea that you go out, you seek loot, and then you have to take it back to a helicopter sort of landing pad.
So you can't just take it out off the map.
You can't walk out with it. So you have to get it picked up by a drop.
Decontaminated.
Yeah.
That's the phrasing they use, isn't it?
Phrasing, boom. And the other thing is they attach to your ass or the back of your backpack a big yellow contaminated container. So other people in the game can see you running around with this like loot. They don't know what it is, but they know you've got something that you're going to quickly rush back to the helipad and sort of squirrel away. And then you get this 1 minute of waiting for the helicopter to come in, a rope drops down, you load your shit on there, and you basically just got to keep that locked down.
Defend against people wanting your loot.
Yeah, so you get this rogue element come in, and typical me. So as soon as I stepped on the map, I saw somebody with some loot and started shooting at them. It breaks out to this massive war over
if you go rogue, then you're put on everyone's watch list.
So is all your team, all your squad.
So
for example, we got kind of like a Leroy Jenkins moment going on here.
Pretty much.
You can run in with your squad, you go, that guy's got loot, screw you guys, I'm having that loot, start shooting, go rogue, everybody else is rogue with you, Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. One of my team members was down in a subway, we were up on top of ground, he's just looking around, it's like, hold it, I've gone rogue, why have I gone rogue? And of course there's me up behind that guy's got some shit, I gotta get it. So and the thing is, people get really bitter because your loot could be absolute pap, but the thought that you have 3 items sat there on a part of the map where you've been killed and the person who's trying to get it got killed, and you're both caning back to it to try and get to it first.
Am I right in thinking that you actually get spawned pretty close to the person who killed you to go rogue? So if somebody does steal your gear, you're put back in a position where you can immediately go after them, and because they're rogue, you can effectively take them out, and it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Close. You get checkpoints, which are the entry points into the sort of the dark zone.
The dark zone.
I'm not sure.
I'm going to say the DZ.
The DZ.
DZ. Yeah, that's the new nomenclature we've got there. Nice.
Good. But generally, it's one of these things where you think, okay, I'm going to play nice, I'm going to play friendly, but you get this bit where whenever you fire a flare up to bring a helicopter in, everyone gets notified that that's happening, and other people can also put their shit on there.
So you can all get airlifted out together.
Yeah,
so
you stay there, but your stuff goes out. And the thing is you get this moment where you're just looking at people that you're not communicating with, and you're thinking, is he going to go rogue or not?
If he doesn't jumping jack within the next 10 seconds, I'm putting him down.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like I said, I've not seen it in any sort of game before. It's a really interesting
I was going to say, I've been reading a few bits and bobs about it, and I was reading this article from one guy, and he was basically saying the same thing, like, you do 2 randoms, and they've gone around, they've had a couple of other rogue guys off, they've gone in and done the job, and they've got all the loot, and they're like, right, they're waiting, they've had a couple of other people trying to take it, they've taken them down, they've finally got their loot, it's like 10 seconds to go, and the third guy that was with them just completely fucked them both. Just shot them straight in the back, just nick their stuff straight on. 10 seconds.
Yeah, excellent. I've heard there's a really good mechanic around the way that the voice comms work as well.
Oh,
it's location based, so you're in near field to other players within the game.
So as long as you're not in a party, obviously.
You can listen in on what they're saying, which is great because you can literally be sort of eavesdropping on a conversation as long as you're within distance, and you can kind of ascertain: are these guys plotting something? Are they just about to go rogue and try and steal my gear? And then you sat there listening to them, and it's like they're talking just random stuff. And you're like, okay, these guys are good. And then you go up and you jump and jack and you introduce yourself in a non-verbal way, and then they're going to shoot you.
Yeah. The other thing that you get loads of in it as well is that people do, when you go down, you're not out, you've got that sort of bleed out time. Yeah. So you get lots of people, sort of like a group of you, like clambering to get around a crate, so your mate can run in and save it at the last moment. And it all gets really... people get really bitter because there's lots of like running over and just smashing you in the face with the butt of the gun and then teabagging you. It's dangerous game.
This one guy on another video I was watching about it the other day, he was saying that he picked up some loot and he was just like, yeah, great, some loot, and opened the crate and he's like, it's some skinny jeans, and you're like, okay, that's not going to help me at all. Somebody came in, went rogue, stole his skinny jeans. He's like, no, I'm not having that. Jeans. Those are my skinny jeans. I'm going to airlift my skinny jeans out, and I'm getting that guy. So he's literally running around the map trying to find these skinny jeans, and you just like, leave it out. It's just a pair of skinny jeans, buddy. Just leave them. He's like, no, I'm having those skinny jeans.
Yeah, can't buy skinny jeans anymore.
Those are radiated skinny jeans. The thing is the other
does my bum look big in these?
I've had moments where I've been like shooting someone, and another player crosses my line of fire, and then suddenly I go rogue, and I'm like, wait a moment, I didn't mean to do that. And all my team are like giving me shit. So out of the 3 guys who were on my squad at the time, one of them was very quick to get his shit on the rope and get airlifted out there. Me, I was sort of second time got it on there. The third guy he's like, I've got a purple, I need to get this out of here, please. And then player 1 decided to go rogue, and basically we just got a lot of people give us a lot of shit about it. His shit got stolen and then airlifted out. That was a rage quit moment. He just left the game and was like, oh dear, this is going to get messy. If people aren't working really closely together, you're going to get some nasty moments.
It's a really neat element that I don't think I've seen done anywhere else, and it's going to, because obviously loot is scarce, it's kind of like present day, post-apocalyptic. It's got that feel of I need this gear, and if I don't get it out, it's going to haunt me, and it's just going to really ruin my day.
Yeah, exactly that. What was it? And the thing is the difficult thing is you see what it is. So you open the crate and you're like, oh, cool, look what I've got. Yeah. But now I've got to get this shit out of here. And it is like, it gets you really, suddenly your team's like your best mates. You're like really close friends with it. Hey buddy, yeah, no worries, I've got you covered. Can we go over to the drop zone now, please? All this sort of stuff. But it's the customization of the weapons is amazing. I really like it.
Yeah, because it's live, isn't it? So you can customise it and you immediately see the changes in view straight away.
Yep, exactly that. And you've got suppressors, you've got infrared dots, you've got different scopes. One of the things I enjoyed the most is they've got like an old like M4 rifle, like but some really interesting weapons, and because you can change on the fly, even things like what perks you're using and stuff like that, it makes for a really sort of dynamic way of playing. That you're getting some shit and you think, actually,
I need this. This will do better now. And
exactly that.
I've heard as well the beta is only presenting about 22% of the final map. So I mean it doesn't sound like a lot in percentage terms, but an article's come out and they've basically said that the map is incredibly dense, loads and loads of buildings and actions going on, and it's going to be comparable to Fallout 4 in scale.
I saw that one as well.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, so as an open world, that's a pretty decent size to roam around in.
Yeah. I mean, I had a few concerns, nothing sort of major, but I found the screen was really quite busy. There's lots going on the screen.
It's an Ubisoft menu, isn't it? It's an Ubisoft GUI, so you're going to get a little bit...
And plus it's a Tom Clancy game, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's all going to be...
weird. That kind of put me off initially, because a lot of the previous sort of Tom Clancy badged games, the tactical shooters, and they're a little bit slower. And as soon as I saw the Tom Clancy on there, I was like, I don't know.
Is it just going to be wait behind a wall, press 14 buttons before I even go out and shoot someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing with Tom Clancy games is get it right or die.
Yeah.
And they've done exactly the opposite. It's like, oh no, I'm under fire. Well, another 5 minutes or so, I'll be dead if I don't take cover. I mean, they're not quite as bullet spongy as everyone's reported it to be. I don't know if they've done some tweaking. I think it's just about right. But yeah, there is still an element of, Jesus Christ, how much flack is this woman taking? Like, one woman just hid behind like some sort of, I don't know, barricade, lobbing infinite amounts of grenades at you. You think, Jesus.
How big's her backpack?
Yeah, exactly that. But talking backpacks, the backpack that you got has like a little informational sort of square off the back of it, which is your life and what you've got in there and how much capacity you've got left. And then you've got the radar on your screen, and you've got, you know, ammo, and there's a lot going on.
Kind of a little bit like they did in Dead Space, with the presenting the GUI in the way on the back.
On the back of the character, yeah. But also the other thing you then get is like people throwing grenades at you. You get like the splash damage area sort of show up when it's sort of around you. You've also got the lines of moving from point to point in cover. You kind of got almost like the roadie run, hold down A, you know, to move from point to point. And as a result of that, that's a lot of shit on the screen.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Let alone the people trying to shoot you in the face.
And all the numbers flying everywhere as well.
Yeah.
Sponging people.
But one thing I did really like about the shooting mechanic is quite solid on it. I actually took cover behind a car and used like this scan ability to sort of see the guy.
Is that like a area ping?
You got it, yeah. And he sort of took cover behind the car as well, and I just started shooting through the body of the car, through the windows, through the other window, and sort of took him out. And I was like, yes,
nice touch.
That's the kind of thing we needed in these sort of games. But all in all, I've been really impressed by it, and I'd strongly encourage everyone to go in the open beta.
So I'm just going to quickly run through some questions, some quick answers, just so we've got a good summarisation.
Shoot.
How was the shooting? I.e., how did the guns feel?
Surprisingly solid for a Tom Clancy game. Yeah, surprisingly solid.
How was the overall gameplay on the story missions? Was it varied? Obviously, I know it's only 2 story missions on the beta.
Yeah, it's a little bit fetch questy.
Yeah.
A little bit fetch questy.
Do you think
go here, talk to person, go there, pick
kill that
up,
person,
come back, thing to
kill all the people in the area so you can escape.
Yeah, there's a big piece around developing your home base, which is I think the post office.
Yeah, because you've got, obviously that's how you get your abilities up, isn't it? Is you upgrade certain areas of it.
Medical, tech, all that sort of stuff.
And security. Yes, that was overall gameplay and story missions. How was the Dark Zone?
It was epic, and it's definitely where all the fun and games is going to be. Yeah, very, very good.
Did you get that same rewarding mechanic of the now known shooter-looter Destiny pickup?
There is a lot of parallels to be drawn here, isn't there?
Yeah, there's loads. I mean, for me, I think it's going to be, it's once again, it's all about the loot. It's customising those guns, even things like, you know, putting your own paint job on it and stuff like that. There's lots of variety in weapons as well, which I was really pleased to see. So, yeah.
And then one last one. Sorry to interrupt there.
No.
But how did the graphics stand up?
Well, put it this way, it sure as hell doesn't look like what it did when they first announced it.
Yeah, it's a Ubisoft trailer. Everyone should know by now that you take that with a grain of salt, or go and be prepared to spend $2,500 on a graphics card.
Yeah, exactly. I think, as always with these sorts of things, you're never ever going to get a good-looking game when the world itself is quite dark and dingy, because you sit there and go, oh.
There's only so much you can do with reflections and light shadows and
grey.
Black.
It's not the prettiest game out there, but I don't think you'll care too much. It almost had, you know, like the zombie game which came out recently, where you have to sort of survive.
State of Decay.
Yeah, it almost had that kind of feel to it.
I suppose with a big open world like that, though, they do tend to be, the fidelity is a bit less.
Yeah. But all in all, yeah, I'm really impressed by it. Please, guys, get involved with it as quick as you can.
So your one-line thought would be?
My one-line thought would be, get it. There we go, I've said
purchase,
it. Yeah,
recommend.
get it. Yeah, well, or don't do what I did, which is with Destiny, where you spend all your money up front and everybody else gets it all of it later, a lot cheaper.
So basically, the one-line thought is probably wait for a year.
Yeah.
Wait till year 2.
Exactly that. Yeah. What about you, Luke? Any thoughts from what you've seen of it?
I'm just, again, hopefully waiting for this supposed open beta and give it a try, because, again, I'm going to go into it with a bit more of a trepidation than I did with Destiny, because I played the beta on Destiny, I absolutely loved
Don't
it.
want to get burnt again.
No, basically. So yeah, I'm waiting for the beta and then forge a new opinion from that.
Cool. Crowman, where you at with it?
Absolutely excited for it. I wasn't massively up with what was going on with it until very recently, and from what I've seen, loving the look of it, and I'm definitely going to get myself a copy.
Yes, looking good, looking good. Cool, so there we are, folks. That's episode 3 wrapped. Crowman, thank you for joining us. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, pleasure.
Cool.
Apart from smells.
Yeah, smells
They were
are
rancid.
issues. Bye for now, folks. Adios, amigos from Linkit.
Hasta luego.
And from Crowman, it's
Peace out.
Azima.